Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Awesome Learning. And in today's topic, we are going to discuss about urine formation counter current system. In the previous video, we have already discussed about the formation of filtrate. Let me give you a brief discussion here. Urine formation at a glance. Children, as we know that this is Malpighian body and these are the tubule, and the tubule is divided into three parts: PCT, Henle's loop and DCT, and along with that the collecting duct. Now children, we also have done this, that 180 liters of filtrate is being taken out. Here you can see this green arrow. 180 liters of filtrate is given out from the glomerulus into the Bowman's capsule, and 180 liters per day, but the urine which is released by us is only 1.5 liters. That means 99% of the filtrate is reabsorbed. Now we have also done in the previous videos how and where are the things getting reabsorbed. We have seen that maximum reabsorption takes place in the PCT, and very few things are being reabsorbed in the Henle loop. Okay, and you can see these arrows. These arrows represent the things that are being reabsorbed. Blue arrow represents water, this one represents the solutes, then filtrate, and then variable reabsorption. That means variable reabsorption means depends, it can vary. Sometimes the amount can vary here, and this represents the secretion. So these are the various things that are getting reabsorbed, you can make out from here. Then here it is permeable to water but not permeable to electrolytes, but here it is permeable to the electrolytes. And then few things are secreted in the PCT also, and few things are secreted in the DCT also, and the concentration of urine gets increased in the descending limb, but the concentration then again gets diluted in the ascending limb. This is what we had done in the previous videos when we were studying about the urine formation. Now here in this video we are supposed to talk about the counter current system which takes place during the urine formation. And before this, let me show you your NCERT here. Now children, mammals have the ability to produce a concentrated urine. You know, we have done this, that 180 liters per day, but we do not excrete 180 liters. We excrete only 1.5 liters, and that too the urine is very concentrated. So the Henle's loop and vasa recta play a very significant role in this. What is the significant role played by these two tubules, children? How the concentrated urine is produced? कैसे concentrated urine produce होगा? इसके लिए who is responsible? Henle's loop and vasa recta. Now children, the flow of filtrate in the two limbs of Henle's loop is in opposite direction, and thus forms a counter current mechanism. Let me show you here. Now children, you can see this is my Henle's loop. This is Henle's loop. This is the descending limb, and this is the ascending limb of Henle's loop. Children, in both the limbs, the direction of flow is opposite. You can see the arrows here. The arrows will depict that the direction, they will tell you the direction of the filtrate. Now in the descending limb, the filtrate is moving downwards, but in the ascending limb, this filtrate is moving upwards. So a counter current has been created between the two limbs. Okay, this is what is said in your book. See. Okay, the flow of blood through the two limbs of vasa recta is also in counter current. pattern. Now you see they say that these two are in counter current pattern. Now let us see the vasa recta. Now children, this vasa recta actually is placed around Henle's loop. असली में वासा रेक्टा कहाँ होता है? It is around Henle's loop. I had shown you in the diagram also. Let me show you once again if you have not forgotten. Yeah, this is vasa recta. See, this is our yellow one is the Henle's loop and the red color is the vasa recta, which is almost parallel to the Henle's loop. You can see. So vasa recta is also all around the Henle's loop. But what we have done is we have placed vasa recta here. अलग से दिखा रहे हैं आपको so that there is no confusion. Now in the vasa recta, what is the fluid which is flowing? Vasa recta is a blood vessel, so it has blood inside it, and you see the direction of the blood is here. Here in the vasa recta is also opposite. In this limb, you can see the direction is downwards, but here in this limb the direction is upward. So that means a counter current is also created in the vasa recta, right? The counter current which was in the limbs of the Henle's loop, the same counter current has been created in the limbs of the vasa recta also, right? So this was, we were here. The proximity between the Henle's loop and vasa recta as well as the counter current in them help in maintaining and increasing osmolarity towards the inner medullary interstitium, that is from 300 osmolarity in the cortex to about 1200 osmolarity in the inner medulla. Now they say that this counter current relationship between the Henle's loop, limbs of Henle's loop, and between the limbs of vasa recta, these are actually there to maintain, okay, to maintain or you can say to बर्दाश्त करना, osmolarity को बर्दाश्त करना, because osmolarity is changing at every point. You can see from cortex the osmolarity was 300, but as we move downwards towards the inner medulla the osmolarity is 1200. So these counter current mechanisms, you see, again I'll read it for you, is help in maintaining the increasing osmolarity. So this counter current helps in maintaining the increasing osmolarity from 300 to 1200. Now children, that means there is a gradient created. 300 say 1200 osmolarity hai, that means a difference has been created, a gradient has been created. Now this gradient is mainly caused, now who has caused this gradient? 300 से 1200 तक अगर difference आया है, तो who has made this difference? This is mainly made by or caused by NaCl and urea. So who are responsible for this great gradient, right? Who is that? That is NaCl and urea. NaCl is transported from the ascending limb of the Henle's loop, which is exchanged with the descending limb of vasa recta. Now let me show you. You can see here, this is ascending limb of Henle's loop. Okay, and you can see lot of NaCl is coming out. Now, if the NaCl is coming out, where is it going? It is being given to see the vasa recta. So, ascending limb of Henle's loop is giving the NaCl to the medullary interstitial fluid. First, the NaCl will come to this fluid. Then, from this fluid, this NaCl will be transported to the descending limb of the vasa recta. This is the descending limb. So, ascending limb of Henle's loop will give out NaCl, and this NaCl will be transported to the descending limb of the vasa recta. I hope this is very much clear to all of you. See, NaCl is returned to the interstitial by the ascending portion of the vasa recta. Now this NaCl, this NaCl which was given to the descending limb, now this NaCl is transported, and as soon as this reaches the ascending limb of vasa recta, this is the ascending limb of vasa recta. Now this, you see, this NaCl is transported back where? To the interstitial fluid of the medulla. So the NaCl was taken out from the Henle's loop, ascending limb of Henle's loop. From here it was given to the descending limb of vasa recta, and from descending limb of vasa recta this NaCl was again taken out and given to the interstitial fluid or the medullary fluid. Now this NaCl has come out into the medullary fluid, right? Okay, now you see what they write. Similarly, so this was about NaCl. Now similarly, small amounts of urea enter the thin segments of ascending limb of Henle's loop, okay, which is transported back to the interstitium by the collecting duct. See, little amount of urea is entering the Henle's loop. Okay, little amount of urea is entering, this is where it is entering the Henle's loop, you see. Have they shown it? Yeah. Here. Okay, and you see little amount is been entering the ascending limb of Henle's loop. Then it from the Henle's loop it is taken to the collecting duct, and collecting duct, from the collecting duct this urea is again given to where? To the interstitial fluid or the fluid which is present inside the medulla. Okay, right? So the above described transport, now you see ultimately both the things, that means the NaCl and the urea are given to the medullary fluid or the interstitial fluid. Both the things are given there, and so the substances facilitated by special arrangement of Henle's loop and vasa recta. So this whole mechanism of giving and taking from one ascending limb to another and from another to the third one, this whole arrangement or mechanism is called counter current mechanism. Okay, children, and this mechanism helps to maintain the concentration gradient. Now you see, if there is a difference in the concentration, things will get transported, है ना? अगर इसमें यूरिया बहुत ज़्यादा आ जाएगा तो क्या होगा? यूरिया will come out. अगर यहाँ पर NaCl बहुत ज़्यादा हो जाएगा तो क्या होगा? NaCl will come out and this will be given then to here, and from here it will be again transported to the interstitial fluid. So a counter current mechanism is there. And why is this counter current mechanism there? Why is it present there? Because this helps to maintain a concentration gradient in the medullary interstitium. The gradient has to be maintained. This gradient, this 300, 600, 900, 1200, this has to be maintained. And ये कैसे maintain होगा? This will be maintained by the counter current mechanism between the ascending descending limbs of Henle's loop and ascending descending limbs of the vasa recta. Presence of such interstitial gradient helps in an easy passage of water from collecting tubule, thereby concentrating the filtrate. Now children, बाहर concentration बहुत ज़्यादा है अगर, ओके, बाहर कंसंट्रेशन बहुत ज़्यादा है और अंदर कम है कि वाटर की, तो मूवमेंट, बाहर वाटर की कंसंट्रेशन अगर ज़्यादा है और अंदर कम है तो मूवमेंट कहाँ से कहाँ होगा? बाहर से अंदर की तरफ, यानी कलेक्टिंग डक्ट की तरफ आ जाएगा. ओके, कलेक्टिंग डक्ट की तरफ. या अगर वाटर का कंसंट्रेशन कलेक्टिंग डक्ट में बहुत ज़्यादा है, दैट मीन्स आपका जो फिल्ट्रेट आया कलेक्टिंग डक्ट में वो बहुत डाइल्यूटेड फिल्ट्रेट है, ठीक है, और बॉडी देख रही है कि यार मेरा इतना सारा पानी वेस्ट क्यों हो रहा है, मुझे तो पानी की ज़रूरत है, आई कांट अफोर्ड दिस कि मेरा मैक्सिमम वाटर जो है वो वेस्ट हो जाए. तो बॉडी क्या करेगी? देखो, वाटर जो है कलेक्टिंग डक्ट से वापस रीअब्जॉर्ब हो रहा है, तो जब वाटर वापस रीअब्जॉर्ब होगा तो क्या होगा? द यूरिन विल गेट concentrated. अब यहाँ पर क्या रह गया, maximum amount of urea, waste and little amount of water. So that means the concentration is maintained here. Okay, human kidneys can produce urine nearly 4 times concentrated than the initial filtrate. यानी हमारा जो स्टार्टिंग में फिल्ट्रेट मिला था हमें, यहाँ से जो हमें फिल्ट्रेट मिला था उसकी कंसंट्रेशन और एंड में जो यूरिन बन के निकला उसकी कंसंट्रेशन, दोनों में 4 टाइम्स का डिफरेंस है. ओके, so this is about the counter current mechanism.